Woo! Welcome everybody to our last class, which we're sad about, but happy about that we made this journey together. And Grace, thank you for writing that. You're a fan too of Living in the Moment. Dora, you want to tell everybody about the song?
Well, it's just a song by Jason Mraz. My kids make fun of me, but I listen to the Jason Mraz Pandora station, and this is a song called Living in the Moment, and the words are applicable to living mindfully and living in the present moment. And so, so it's a great song, and I just thought it would be great to share this evening.
Yeah, sort of like it. And we were saying earlier, we're hoping that everybody had this idea that the class was designed to be sort of experiential, just like life is. And we didn't think there was a better way to have our last class and to incorporate music, because music just really does feed the soul in a way that many other things can't. So we just want you to remember that. And when you hear this song, it could be sort of our group song, right, Doro and Zanka and Liz? Living in the Moment. So anyway, we're excited everybody's here tonight. And Zanka, do you want to do our usual?
Yes, I will do our 60-second drop-in here with a special assignment for tonight. So tonight, during this, we're going to connect to our hearts, and we're going to send love to our buddy. So the person that you got to call over the weekend, they got to hold space for you and love you. So we'll send a little love back to them tonight during our drop-in.
Excuse me.
Thank you for that, Zanka. So how is everybody feeling tonight? You could do thumbs up if anyone knows how to do that, or just sort of give a nod. Hopefully everyone's feeling good and centered. Tonight, as we said last week, is going to be a little bit different. We're going to stay all together as a group. So this way we can see each other and hopefully hear from everybody about our experiences this past week and what we've gained from this 7 weeks together. Right, Zanka? Is there anything else we want everyone to know?
No, we just want to thank you guys for taking the time in your life to improve your relationships. This has been such a labor of love, and Dora and Tricia are been hard at work with a book that they've been working on, and this is really, in their mission to share this information with the world. And we, in addition to the book, we're organizing some incredible classes for organizations and companies and book clubs and coaches. And we're going to make it really affordable and really fun for you guys to empower you to be a coach with this, to take it, to make money with us, to co-partner with us, to take this out to the world. So thank you for being here. And we're just thrilled to have you guys, and we'll miss you next Wednesday night.
Wednesday nights just aren't going to be the same without each other. So we have to make sure we keep in touch, and you guys know how to get a hold of us. And Zanka, we will, if people want to have different emails, we can do that exchange as well too. If Everyone wants that. So that would
Yeah.
be great.
So we're going to go team by team. And when we do the company platform, we do all sorts of cool things with the teams and awards and things like that. And we're going to go tonight team by team. And there's the prompt here. So we want to know, what did you do for yourself, your partner, or for a stranger? So what was your act of kindness? You can just tell us one of those three. And then also, what was the biggest takeaway that you got from this class? And so, yeah, we'll just go around. So Doro, if you want to start and then introduce your team.
Sure. So I'll start. The biggest benefit I got from the class was the actual group itself, because as Trisha knows and others, I'm not a group person. I said to Trisha, I just don't think I can do group classes, and but I found that it was really a great experience, and I love my group, and so I thank my group for being so special and for allowing me to be nervous and all of that. The tools I gained from the course were put into action the other day when someone asked me relationship advice, and I was able to pull the tools out of my toolbox. And so that was the great benefit, I think, of the class for me. Many kind acts were done for me this week, but you just want us to name one? And then I hopefully did some kind acts, and then hopefully I was kind to myself. So I guess I'll just say that the kind act that I worked on in my group knows that my mother-in-law died, our mother-in-law, and I was able to show some kindness to my partner by jumping in and helping him in a really difficult situation. So I hope that he felt that. I think he did. So anyway, enough about me. But so is Becky here tonight? Or Magdalena? I know Zaina's here. So Zaina, do you want to share anything?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you for inviting me to share back to the larger group. Aside from the lessons that I've learned from the actual content and material for this course, I learned a tremendous amount from the individuals in my group, from their vulnerability, their insight, those personal experiences that they were able to bring and willing to share. Really offered me the opportunity to reflect on my own experiences and also find ways to incorporate some of those really neat ideas and takeaways that other people have had as well. In terms of my act of love or kindness, I think it's an ongoing process of trying to provide support and kindness and love, which can be a little bit challenging to my partner. And I hope that has been felt in the way that I communicate, in the way that I share experiences with him. And I expect that I will continue to do so going forward as well. So again, thank you for inviting me to share.
Thank you, Zaina. Sharon, there you are.
Hey, Sharon.
Hi everyone. Good evening. Well, I really loved being a part of our group, the whole group, but especially our little breakout groups. I think we had a lot of time to connect and just like Zaina said, really get to see other perspectives and hear how each person took the same principle and got something similar, but also very often something completely different. So it's fun to learn those different aspects of each principle that sometimes didn't even occur to me. So I really liked that. My some acts of kindness over this week, some of the material that really spoke to me was about not necessarily just my partner, but what with other people that I come in contact with. So before thinking, what can this person do for me? Think about what I can do for this person. And so often, especially at work, you're just going, and you're thinking, okay, what I need to go see this person because I need this, to check off my list and check off my box. And when you get to that person, then all of a sudden, that's all you're thinking of. You're like, hey, how are you? And you want to launch into what you need from them. But I took a step back and tried to, see what I could actually do for them and still get what I needed to accomplish for work, but just take an extra minute for that person. And I found that was, I was genuinely interested in what, I could do for them, or even just hearing about their day. So I thought that was interesting. And my partner was my 5-year-old, well, now 6-year-old son. And I took this week about love and kindness and just made extra effort to share with him, because it's such a big lesson for him too. So I'm kind of learning alongside with him. I want him to be aware of that too. So the whole program's been really wonderful. And I'm just so amazed at my awareness of my communication skills, lack thereof sometimes, and the strong points. So thank you.
Thank you, Sharon. Katie.
To echo, I think what everybody else has said, I learned the most from our breakout group, and for sure, just hearing everybody talk about, it was just very interesting how everybody in our group had a different person as their partner. I went into this thinking everybody is going to have their spouse as their partner, when there was, children and, just other people that you wouldn't have even thought the people would choose. And it was very eye-opening how everybody was able to work through the different relationships based on ages, and relationships were just amazing. And the things that we were able to share that we had accomplished each week. I think that the random act of kindness I wasn't able to practice a random act of kindness with my partner this week, but at work it's kind of easier because I see those people more often. And, I work in an operating room. So there's this one girl whose husband has been in the hospital in and out this last couple of weeks. And, if I can get there just a few minutes early and set up her operating room for her. She came in one day, it was all done, just crying. Just, just felt so nice to do that random act of kindness. And then she reciprocated this afternoon after lunch. I was sort of freaking out a little bit. It's like, there's nothing here. I need syringes. And she was like, I'm going to go get them for you. And, it just comes back around. So good work and good principles.
Thank you, Katie. Sally.
Hello.
Hi, Sally.
Hey, thank you for coming to me. This is, I think, a very wonderful opportunity that I've had. Thank you to my sisters, Dana, for inviting me to join this group. Definitely had a lot of self-reflection over the past 7 weeks with the principles, and not just with my partners, which I chose my children, so I had 2 partners, but just my relationship with the world in general. So with my act of kindness, I don't know, there's a comic, I'll drop it into the chat here. There's a comic by an artist called Lunar Baboon. And it's about the dad and his son, and this dad is explaining to the kid that, everybody has superpowers. And the dad looks over at some guy who's like looking really sad and said, hey, you look really good today, and the guy starts to smile, and the guy looks at his son and he says, that was easy, that's your superpower. So I definitely channeled that this week, and in line at the grocery store or when I'm in the street, making sure, obviously with the mask, it's hard to see that you're smiling, but hey, how are you? How you doing? You know, is today a good day? You know, the weather's been really nice. So, you know, hey, did you enjoy the weather? You know, you see it was sunny, like all this sort of stuff to just have a conversation, to have the conversation, to not get anything out of it, but just to be present for others. And that was, you know, just feeling them be happy and responsive, and, you know, everybody's smiling eyes, you know, over the mask was just, it just made life in general that much more enjoyable and fulfilling. So, I mean, thank you guys. Really, it was an amazing trip, and I will carry these lessons into the future.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. And I don't think Siobhan is here, but Kathy is.
Thanks, Doro.
Mhm.
Well, I'm just going to echo what everyone else has said. The 7 weeks has just been so amazing for me. I'm not really a group person either, so it was a bit of a challenge for me to participate and talk about some personal things in my life. But what I want to say is I'm just so grateful to all of you, and especially my group, for showing me the way back and share, and to help me realize that I can have joy and happiness in my life, not only for myself, but others that are around me. And my partner was my mom, and it has been quite a journey. And this past week, really, things started to fall in place for me using my principles. It hasn't been easy, but for the first time, I'm really, I love my mom so much. And, you know, it's been a long time since I've had that feeling and been able to say it out loud and say it to myself. And my act of kindness, there's two. One, I'm going to see her this week, but with totally different feelings, not like frustration and like, oh, this is just a duty I have to do. But I truly am really looking forward to visiting her this weekend. And then my second act of kindness, because I really truly believe in this program, and I really have learned so much. I've introduced this program to my company where I work. And so we're in the process now of trying to see if we can figure out how we can incorporate it into our company and our cultural. So I just want to thank all of you for everything that you've done to help me grow for this past 7 weeks.
Thank you, Kathy. That's our group.
Oh, good group.
Okay, so the Co-Mindfulness crew.
Co-Mindfulness crew, here we are. Okay. So I'm Trisha, and I think I've met most of everybody, and I loved this 7-week journey so much. And again, just want to say thank you so much to all of you guys for being part of it. This week, my act of kindness was, I mean, I thought about it all week long, and the week went by so fast that today I kind of overdid my act of kindness to my partner. So she's like, whoa. So she got flowers, she got some leggings and things that she wanted. But I thought about it all week long. And what was kind of interesting was that the biggest gift I gave her, which she actually verbalized, and this is my daughter, was that I didn't have my phone with me ready and on alert when she was talking to me. So that's been something that I think if I can measure from the beginning 7 weeks ago to now, that both she's appreciated, and it's helped me with my wellness practice and helping me with my listening, and then all the way to connecting with love. So that was my act of kindness. And again, my biggest takeaway is that I just really, I'm so grateful to all of you, and to been able to spend these Wednesday evenings together just has been amazing with all of you, and then also my group. So Grace, could you start us off?
Sure. And I love groups, and this is my first national Zoom group. And for 7 weeks, I think it is terrific. I loved every minute of it, and was devastated last week when I missed it. I was way overstressed and too much on my plate. And that's what happens when that, So it happened. Anyway, one of the things that I noticed was just how much the different weeks intertwine with each other. And I talked with my buddy this week, and that's one of my great takeaways from this too, is how great the buddy assignment was. I know it was supposed to be about 10 or 15 minutes, but Heather and I would talk at least an hour when we had to schedule, make sure we had a pretty long time to talk, because the buddy check-in was big. And we, both of us, this loving, connecting with love and random acts and kindness and stuff is part. This was one of our easier weeks, but then it can get tangled up with some of the other weeks that are harder for us, and so that interconnectedness was important to just acknowledge. So my random act of kindness that is a little bit different for me, but happened this week, was Hannaford is our big supermarket in Maine. And there I have actually several patients that work there. This was not a patient or anything, but I know it's a stressful environment, and especially during COVID, people working in grocery stores and stuff, it's been very difficult. And there was a young man that was very thin, who was the bag boy. And his cashier was probably not much older than him, another male, and was, telling him how to do it and wrap the meat up. And he got flustered, and he left and went to the bathroom. And at first I was kind of like, okay. And so then I'm thinking, okay, well, do I, start bagging, or what happens here? And so someone came from another aisle and pitched in. But when this young guy came back, I just looked at him, and he had his name badge on, and smiled and said, "Thank you so much for your help." And and called him by his name. And he was just like, like shocked that somebody, noticed that he was, trying, or saying thank you to him. So, so that was my random thing, was just to smile and compliment somebody.
Very kind. Very kind. Very kind. Thank you, Grace. Jack.
Hi, everybody. Jack here. I'll first go over the benefits of the class, and I think my act of kindness is somewhat weak this week. But I stumbled into this course somewhat reluctantly in the beginning. But the takeaway for me is most importantly, I think, if you invest your time and energy into these thought processes, that I believe it might actually help me to re-examine the way I perceive relationships and pursue a goal to open my mind towards a more calm and compassionate response to communication, particularly with my wife, but also with others. So I know that that's going to take some more effort long after the course ends, but that goal, I think, is a positive one, and hopefully I'll have some techniques that I can bring with me going forward. This week, I think we've got a little bit sidetracked with life and somewhat delayed our homework. So, the one thing that came to mind was my wife came home and surprised us with a badminton set today. And in the middle of a work call, I succumbed to the peer pressure of our 4-year-old and decided that I had to build the badminton net set in the backyard during the call. So with that little tug on my heartstrings, I completed that task. So I'll count that both towards my daughter, who I think absorbs 99% of my kindness, and I'll count it as an act towards my wife as well.
Very good. Definitely counts. Thank you, Jack. Vivian. There she is. There you are.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So, for me, I love the group, and I love the sharing. I think for me, I'm not great with sharing. So, but I just thought that I just got so much out of it. In the groups I was able to share. I just really appreciated and loved the themes week to week. I really looked forward to every Wednesday night. It was really truly kind of like a bright spot for me in COVID. It was just something that I kind of really look forward to for the group. For my group, I think I shared, like, I've been impacted by COVID, so I haven't really been quite as mobile as others might have been during this time, but it was just really a bright spot for me during this time, and I really appreciate it. My random act of kindness, I don't even think I realized I was being kind, but given my situation, I'm not using my car right now, and so I offered it to my husband's daughter, and she just was so appreciative about it. I didn't even think anything of it. So, I think she really kind of considered it an act of kindness. She ended up totaling her car, long story short. And so I was like, well, heck, my car's sitting in the garage and I'm not planning on driving it. So, just go ahead and take it. And she was like so appreciative of it and wanted to figure out how she could take care of it or reimburse me or whatever. It was just great. I think it's just, I think that's what kind of I love about what I've gotten out of this, the 7 weeks, is it's really all the principles and all the techniques are really aligned and very grounded, and they're all very applicable, and they're aligned with who I am and how I like to approach things. And it was just great tips that I've gotten throughout the week. The other thing about my random act of kindness was funny because I was, as I was going through this week, I got into one of those things with my husband, who's my partner, right? And I was like, how am I going to get through this and make sure that I am kind and I do what I'm supposed to do, but everything, of course, it always works itself out. But I just kind of chuckled at myself going through this weekend with him. So I just can't thank the group enough, and all of you for allowing me to be a part of this and experience this. So thank you.
Thank you, Vivian. Thank you so much. Julie.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we gotcha.
Okay, great. I echo everything that you're all said. The groups have been such an incredible thing. And I think, as Vivian was just mentioning, I really look forward to the Wednesday night. And I think one act of kindness that I started doing was just being able to really have the dedicated time at heart. At first, it was challenging. My kids have drum lessons and music on Wednesday night, and getting coordination and everything. But I think my mom was really a champion of, I told her, this is something that I really want to do, and talking to different things. And she was all in then. So she took over my Wednesday night running around, activities, feeding the kids, getting every homework done, baths, you name it, and stuff. And so it really became kind of a family affair of mom's going to tell us more later and stuff. So I think I just really appreciate, and I think that shows the impact when other people are noticing. My backup babysitter is noticing that I'm better and I'm nicer after I've done my Wednesday night stuff. So I thought that was great. For the act of kindness this week, I've kind of gone back and forth between my husband and my daughter. And this week I tried to focus more on my 14-year-old because she's with hybrid. So she had to go back to high school, and this is her first year. She's a freshman. And so she's finally going to the high school. And it was a challenge, I think, because there were so many changes and so many different things. And she was a little bit sad last week because when they go, they're 12 feet apart during lunch. And lunch was like the big hard thing, especially. And you can text your friends, but she didn't see anybody she knew or had numbers and stuff like that. So I want to do something for her. So this week I was asking her, what do you text? How do you text for 45 minutes straight while you're eating and not spill and stuff? So she was trying to show me, well, you use GIF and you use this and you use that. So this week during lunchtime, I've been trying to text something to her, even if she was at home or if she was there. So I've been trying to do like a daily text at lunch. So that was my act of kindness. And last night, she was talking to him and she says, I really liked it and I think you're getting better at it. And I could just see that she was opening up more, and she had a really bad day. And my husband didn't know, my mom didn't know. And I got home at 11 o'clock at night and she just spilled everything. And I think showing those little random acts of kindness, they're like, well, we've been with her all day. We had no idea that this person said this, or that the French test went badly, or the book fell in the mud, or all these things. But it just showed me that those little things, just building the relationship, can really, make an impact. So I think for myself, the takeaway was that little things really can add up. I think as a working mom, I always try to balance that of how can I make sure that it's quality time and different things. So I was really surprised at how a small little thing could still build and strengthen the relationship, that she would still feel comfortable and I can still be the mom who she'll tell things to. So that was a nice mom moment. I know it will not last always, but I'll enjoy it right now.
Great. Thank you, Julie. Thanks for sharing that. So that's us. That's us. That's the Co-Mindfulness crew.
All right, Liz, you're up.
Hello, everyone. My big takeaway, of course, is just the sharing with everyone, particularly with my group. I really appreciated everyone's honesty and wisdom. There was so much wisdom and so much that I gained from hearing everyone and their experience with the principles, and which was a lot to me because I've been practicing these principles for a few months. So it was wonderful to have that my own practice deepened and enriched by everyone else. And my act of kindness, I'm practicing with my 15-year-old son. And so by this time, most parents aren't like cooking breakfast and lunch anymore for their kids. You know, it's like, or they're just doing one or the other. So I have made a concerted effort, you know, during the pandemic to prepare both meals, frequently hot meals, you know, for those times. And there was one morning this week when my son woke up, he's like, French toast. And I was like, and I was thinking cold cereal, of course. I was like, all right, we'll do, you know, I'll do the whole 9 yards. And then today, you know, he basically had focused all week on checking the weather. Today's beautiful weather. Can we play tennis? Can we play tennis? And of course I didn't want to, I had other things going on. And I usually walk away from those matches with back pain. So I was like, oh, I really don't want to do this, but I did it. So, you know, I feel like, if, you know, every day with your children, especially in these circumstances, I am really trying to bring as much kindness and generosity as I can. Yeah. So now we go to my people. All right, Margaret, you want to start us off?
Sure. Boy, first of all, I want to say thanks to Liz. She was a great group leader, and really, not just in our weekly group discussions did she stimulate conversation, but she sent us little notes and things to watch during the week, and I really appreciate that, Liz. I love the group. I guess I love groups in general, but I have to tell you, Dora and Tricia, and Zenka, what I really love about this whole experience is the diversity in age. Because when we got to the group discussion, even my buddy, we were told, you know, she could be my daughter, but everybody brought an interesting perspective and insight to the discussion. And I just really think it made for a very rich experience. I mean, I learned from many people in my group. Hopefully some learned from me. And as I think we've said in previous weeks, I felt like each week the principle, I was climbing a mountain. And the way my takeaway is that, you know how on the business channel you have the ticker tape going across the top of the screen? Well, that's the way I look at my co-mindfulness principles, that when I'm getting ready to interact with my partner, who is my husband, or with I found in general, and my children and other family members, it's like I have these mindfulness principles going across the screen, and so they're rolling in the back of my head, and I have felt like I'm coming into these personal experiences not a new person, but I listen more. I try to not bring judgment. I try to bring kindness. So I've really benefited from this whole experience. I've looked forward to it, and I love the buddy calls. And even though we had a different age, it's interesting. We'd come to the buddy calls, and we would both almost have the same experience, which was really very interesting. And my act of kindness, I did it with my partner. Just everyday things. I would just kind of and I just, without even saying thing, I just tried to do a little something extra special. Since the weather's been nice, we went for a walk together. So I think I've grown as a person, and I really appreciate your bringing this together. I think it's the kind of experience, I know you're writing a book. I think it's great for people of all ages, and I love having a diversity of group of a diversity in the group. I think that brings a lot to the table. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Margaret.
I just want to say I'm so glad Margaret brought that up, because I knew I forgot to say something about the experience, and it was that, Margaret. It was the generations, the different generations. That was very worthwhile. It was great. So speaking of which, we'll go to the another generation. Alex, do you want to speak?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That was something in my head too. I absolutely loved our group, and to just show how excited I was every Wednesday, I normally like take a bit of a nap around this time, and I rescheduled my naps to come and join. And even when emotionally drained, this was always a priority. So it was an amazing group, and I looked forward to it every week. And I thought Wednesday was a perfect timing too, because it just gave me that kick for the last couple of days of the week. And the fact that our group was different ages, like Margaret was saying, but we also all came into this group with no judgment, and everyone was so open. I was truly impressed. I mean, we probably could have talked for another half hour every week. Because everyone was just very open and asking each other questions, and Liz was fantastic in getting us to be open and to be in that mindset. So I too, like Margaret, feel that I've grown from this experience, and am immensely grateful. And for my act of kindness this week, I am back home with my family, and I drove both of my parents on separate days to go get their vaccine. Even though they didn't actually need a driver, but I just thought it would be nice to have a buddy with them. Didn't realize it would be 10 hours, but it ended up being a lot of fun. And I got to practice some more of these principles stuck in a car in a line for vaccine for 10 hours. So it was good. It was good.
That's great.
Thank you, Alex. Chuck?
Hey everybody. So, I mean, I guess I can't say too much of that nobody has said. I mean, I think I was going to talk about the diversity of ages that we had in our group, and how it was kind of interesting to hear everybody's experience, or how they would bring the different principles in. I guess one of my act of kindness, besides, my wife was, of course, my partner. We have a small bubble, so but just doing little things, with her and everything. But my sister lives in North Carolina, and again, the COVID and the vaccines, and talking to her, I was like, hey, if you need me, they live in an area where they don't have their internet access is not as good as what we have up here in Maryland. So it was like, hey, I'll get up at 5 a.m. if I have to. This, get on the North Carolina website if try and get you a vaccine appointment. So I guess my big thing is just trying to make sure that my parents and my family get the vaccine and everything. So that's my my take for this week.
Thank you, Chuck. Colleen?
Hi, everyone. Yeah, like Chuck, I feel like I'm just echoing what everybody else has said. But also like that thing that kind of struck me as well is like, because our group, as we've said, is very like diverse, but also the partners that we have, like everyone has a very different, like has picked a very different person. But to be able to listen to stories that like these principles, they actually do, like they can go across the board. You can be any age and then use the principles. You can use them with people of all different ages and different circumstances, like a coworker, or a sister, a family member, a boyfriend, or whatever, which it's been really remarkable because I've been trying to use them like with more than just my partner, which has been really interesting and enlightening, and helpful just in everyday interactions. Random this week was pretty easy for me because I like to practice random acts of kindness, but one thing is my boyfriend wakes up at 5 in the morning every day and goes running, which is good for him. I don't join him in that adventure. But anyways, but what I have been doing is waking up and making him breakfast and like preparing it for him. And which I think it just jumpstarts his day a little bit, and I've noticed that like on the days that I do it and I'm able to do it, it seems like he has a little bit of a better, happier day. And I think that it's because he feels like, like that love. So that's been really good. So anyways, but thank you so much for this class. I've enjoyed it a lot.
Thanks, Colleen. Brenna?
Hey everybody. Okay. So this has been the highlight of my week every single week. We have a just rock star group. But I did this program a little differently. Yes, and that I am unemployed, single, and I live alone. But I found that this program showed me and like taught me all of the different areas of where I can improve in my communication that I can take into that next job, into that next relationship, and that next friendship. So, and I don't think I was planning on seeing that when I started this class. So that was a really exciting part of this class for me. And my act of kindness this week, I took a friend out for Turkish coffee this week. She had lost her job, and I think just getting her out of the house to just be around somebody, I think was helpful for her. And so that was my act of kindness this week for someone else. So yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Brenna. Michelle.
Hi, everybody. Liz, it's been like, again, as everyone's echoed again, the group is very diverse, age, background, so forth. And it's been actually interesting knowing that our bubble is very small and Chuck and I is my partner. With this class, it actually has been like, again, the highlight of the week. We get takeout for dinner and we have a plan, and it's kind of like a modified date night, but at the same time, after the class is over, we end up having longer discussions, and we put technology aside and I think still using the concepts. We actually ended up printing it out and putting it on the fridge. So we kind of remind ourselves. I know that's it's the teacher in me, but it kind of helped me prepare to stop in any type of situation that may come up. Like I just had my scans for my cancer come up, and it was like, okay, I had to wait 3 days to find out where I was. And again, having to use a lot of that was right there. I mean, it's been enjoyable. It's actually been, it's helping me cope. It's helping me get through this journey that I'm going through, and that we are going through as a couple. And Dora, Trish, you guys, Liz, Zika, it's been awesome. I'm actually kind of sad that we're not going to have our Wednesday nights. So we're going to try and figure a way to do something Wednesday nights for us. The act of kindness that I did, honestly, I didn't realize this. Every time I go through the checkout, if I go to the grocery store, like at Costco or something, just saying, hi, how's it going? How's the weather? And talking to the person, because nobody, and they ask how they're doing. Well, I went to the Walgreens the other day at like 8 o'clock at night, and she was having a really bad day. Not that I needed to hear all this, but she goes, thank you for asking, because nobody asked how her day was. And it was really rough. And I guess I've been doing it. I just didn't realize that not just COVID time, but pre-COVID, we all have a lot to burden, and a lot of times just somebody asking, hey, hi, or happy Wednesday, or happy Friday Eve, or which is Thursday. You know, it makes people realize that that you're valuable, you're important. And I think we sometimes need to hear that. And my random kindness to my partner was, I do not cook that often. I got up and made a full breakfast this morning. I felt motivated. So I made breakfast, and he just kind of looked at me, and I'm like, okay, I can't sleep. So you want to get up early? And I had a full hot breakfast for him, eggs, biscuits, and OJ. And he kind of looked at me like, okay, everything okay? But again, it's, when I cook, you know, we have a rule that my parents had. The person who cooks, the other person cleans. And I do a lot of dishes because he's a better cook than I am. So, but you know, and again, he's like, today he came home, he goes, don't worry about the dishes, I've got them for breakfast. And I was like, okay. So that's kind of the rule. But other than that, thank you guys. I'm actually kind of sad. I'm losing a Wednesday night date night. So
thank
you. Thanks, Michelle. I think that's a wrap on the Mindful Mavericks.
All right, you guys. So that's so great that everybody's been enjoying the program and the diversity and the flipped classroom where we learn from each other. We are going to have a Facebook group so that you guys can keep in touch with each other and interact. And I love this idea of a date night, and we look forward to having more couples do the program because it's been really fun for them. So we're nearing the end. We have 10 minutes, so we're going to have to kind of work a little bit faster for these last 10 minutes. So just share one act of kindness and one thing that you learned or wanted to take away. We're also going to do our final kind of review of the class at the end. And then we're going to be sending you your data back. So you're sending you how you improved from the beginning class to the end. And we think it's so important as we embark on this big adventure with companies in the world to really be mindful of the metrics and how we're doing and how we can continually improve the program. So for me, I think I want to echo what Sally said. You know, I think and what we've all said is like really in this time doing an act of kindness with someone at the grocery store saying, hey, how's your day been going? That's like, it just shatters a mirror that's like between you. And they're like, oh my God, I'm like, it's like, I'm not a robot. And so I think that that's always it's like an easy win for you to feel good, for them to feel good. And then I think that the thing I took away most is I went to this program once and they wrote this sentence out. If you don't slow down, your life will look like this.
Let's see.
And yeah. Oh, yeah, can you guys see that? Yeah. So it's like, I think that's what I learned most is when we started slowing down near the beginning, then that was really where I saw a huge impact with my son. And you know, Terry Simon said in one of the conferences that Dora and Tricia did, it's like, if you can just shut out the world for a minute and give someone your every bit of attention you have, it's magical. So that was one of the things I really loved. And I am going to pass it over to Ginny.
Thanks, Sanka. And I love our group. And this has been amazing. I don't want it to end either. Okay, I would say my biggest takeaway from the class was just slowing down and giving my full attention. Monday through Friday, I feel like I'm just going, checking off all the boxes, working nonstop. And this is definitely really I feel like just, everything that we're learning is like forcing me to slow down and just be more present and put my phone down, which is really hard because I'm always on my phone or my computer. And I think that's really helped for sure. Let's see, one of my acts of kindness this week, I think that just because of what I do for a living, I'm constantly giving to other families.
I'm constantly giving my time, my attention, and going, and supporting. I feel like that's part of my therapy, is supporting others. So I'm constantly giving my time and attention to others. And it's something that I've been working on, is to, focus some of that time and attention on my own family, which I haven't been doing as much. So today I was on I was in this international autism conference all day long, and I was like, wait a minute, I can listen to it on my phone and go to Costco. And it was like Christmas at Costco. I hadn't been to Costco in a while, and I had to go get my rebate check at Costco, right? That Costco money that you get every year, right? So I went to go pick that up, and I was like, ooh, a badminton set. So I got that for my daughter. And then my youngest brother, Russell, has Down syndrome and autism and lives with my parents. So every week I try to go out of my way to go take him something that he would like, or food. So today I got him lots of yummy treats and walked in with them, and his face was so excited. So that was really fun to just kind of give to him and spend a little bit of time, even if it was just 5 minutes. That was really fun. So I would say that was my act of kindness today, my Costco trip.
Very nice.
Awesome. Thank you, Jenny. Okay, Stephanie, you're up next.
Hey, everybody. First, Zenka, thank you so much. You've been such a great leader for our group, and really enjoyed just like your soul and the way that you like brought all of us together. Also, thank you to the group. Everybody was so warm, and I was the timekeeper a couple times, and I had to tell Zenka, like, sorry, I can't be the timekeeper because I just want to hear everybody and I can't cut anybody off. My act of kindness this week was with my husband, and we're both just really busy right now. And so I just tried to like take as much off his plate as I could and find little ways to like, let me change the poopy diaper, let me, put away your coffee, whatever the case is. And did notice that like the little things that I did like that made us closer. Being busy, it could be really stressful, but we were more connected, and so that stress didn't feel the same. I think my biggest takeaway is, this last year has been a year of such contraction, and coming out of this, I feel so much more expansive and confident and happy, and just a more stronger version of myself. And so I'm really grateful that I got to be part of it. Public speaking is one of my greatest fears, so it's helped me with that too. So I really have appreciated it. But thank you. It's been a wonderful experience.
That's awesome. Karen, you're up next.
All right, sorry. Yeah, I'm sad this is over too. This has been just great for me. I ironically started taking this online functional nutrition class right before this started, and then found out about this and was really interested how just the whole, was focused on the eating part, and then just this mindfulness part and the connection. And all this wellness has been a passion of mine. So it was really nice to see all that come together. But I think one of my biggest takeaways too was, somebody else brought this up, about not only doing this with my partner, who was my husband, but just also with other people. I found myself with a good friend who I end up talking because she doesn't talk very much, but I found just walking with her and being quiet and listening more, and kind of getting a different experience with her. And then even I have a twin sister, and, we're very close, but using these principles with her, I was like, gosh, she interrupts a lot. And, just noticing things about her that I never really noticed. And so I think it not only helped me with my husband, but just other people in my life. And my act of kindness, I'm kind of the same way. I do a lot of volunteer work. I feel like I'm always trying to say hello to people in the grocery store, say hello to people in the store. And, I used to make fun of my mother, like, can't you just go through the grocery store line without talking to everybody? But, now, so I do that now as an adult. But so I focused on myself, because I did all those things this week, and I found myself doing them with almost more enthusiasm or more smiles, noticing doing them. But then I really, I was at the beach with my daughter and three of her friends. It's her birthday tomorrow. And so I took time for myself. I took a walk. I listened to podcasts, which I don't usually do a lot of, and just sat on the beach. I listened to one of Doro's meditations. I mean, it was just like, you know, talking the talk. I finally walked the walk for myself. So that was, I chose to be kind to myself. So, and thank you, Zenka, for running a great group. I have enjoyed this group and I'll miss it too.
That's great. I'm so glad you had an aha moment with taking care of yourself. And I hope everyone did that this week, because it a little bit can go a long way. Anne, you're next. And then we have Kristen and Alexandra. So Anne.
I just want to say thanks to Zenka because she ran a great group, and thanks to Patricia and Doro because it was really fun. I had a lot of fun, and it was a great reminder to slow down and to and also I really enjoyed, especially during this time of COVID, I really enjoyed the sort of broad idea of partner, and I just kind of because I live by myself, and I was able to sort of pick whoever I wanted to be as the partner for that week, and that was fine. And this week was the anniversary. Well, it would have been my husband's birthday, and so we, my kids and I, got together on Saturday, and it's been like a year and a half since he passed, and so it's kind of loaded still, and it was a great thing because I came at it with a lot of energy, and I brought my son just bought a house in Baltimore, and I picked up lunch for them, and came at it with a lot of sort of positive energy, which I think they responded to really well. And we had a great lunch and a really fun time, which during this time of COVID is a great thing, and during a loaded moment was a great thing. And I feel like this helped me to remind me to slow down, to not try to control their emotions, to hear what they had to say and to sit with it. And it was really good. So, and I guess my act of kindness was just to bring lunch and to try to set the table for them to be wherever they wanted to be. And that felt good.
Awesome.
So thank you.
Okay, and Alexandra, you are our last share for tonight, so you get to close it out.
Did Jane go too?
Did what?
Jane.
We have Jane.
Jane too.
Jane, right. Okay, sorry. Okay, Jane, you're gonna get the last.
Sorry, Jane.
Sorry, I like getting, yes, I messed my list up here. Okay.
Okay, so first I want to thank you. Really, it's amazing how when we come together and really share vulnerability in a group, just magic happens, and we get so inspired and feel so connected. And that part of us that sometimes feels like divided just comes together in the we of the group, and how we all feel, and to just feel together, right? That we're human beings and suffering, and we're in the same boat, but we choose to just use those sufferings or that pain to just come together and have a meaningful life. So I really like, what I want to point out is that part of the vulnerability, that without knowing these beautiful ladies, I just feel so close, and it made me feel genuine, and that part of who I am, and that part of what I practice a lot is that part of feeling curious, right? And not thinking that I know everything, and just being open. And from that perspective, it always surprised me the amount of love and connection that we can have in a group. And then my act of vulnerability was my neighbor. He's almost 90 years old. and he always wants to talk, and I'm always in a rush when I'm out. I'm gonna pick up my kids or something, so I cannot talk to him that long. So I said, okay, he wants to talk all the time, so I'm gonna go and knock on his door and just talk to him. So it required a lot of patience. But it was beautiful. He really felt like it was a beautiful moment, and we spent like an hour talking, but I felt really good after that, and he felt really good too. So I felt like connected to something else, that it was not out of interest or out of anything, just out of that wanting to have that moment with him. And yeah.
Wow, that's so cool. All right, Jane, close us out.
Oh, what an honor to be the last.
Yay.
Thank you. This has been, such a gift for me. I'm going to get quite emotional. It's just been really great. And the big takeaway for me is how powerful a connection you can have with people that maybe you didn't know. So in amongst our small group, just sitting and listening to everyone's stories each week was incredibly powerful. So that was a really big and great takeaway for me. And then my kindness this week, I unexpectedly ended up in the hospital for a small reason, and feeling quite vulnerable, and everybody was showering me with care and love, and it's quite hard to take when you're used to doing all the giving, and to just let it and accept it. And it was quite an emotional week for me, but accepting that love from others was actually really helpful and healing. And also then just talking to the janitor and asking questions, being curious, people coming into my room that maybe weren't the doctor or the nurse, but it was the person bringing in some food for me, or cleaning the floor. And it was just, paying attention to people and everybody was really great. So thank you for this time, and this has been such a gift. Thank you all.
Awesome. So all right, so this is it. We're going to close. I'm going to post in the chat right now, again, the link to the final evaluation. We asked you questions about how the class worked for you, and different specific questions about the journal, the buddy program, or the suture platform as we adjust things and move forward. And we also ask you to go through that same set of questions, right? So we can compare how the transformation has worked for you. So we would love if everyone could do that. And then we will be sharing some of the results next Wednesday in an email, if not sooner. So thank you so much for doing that. And thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up for yourselves. Thank you for showing up for your partners. And we look forward to being in touch with everyone. And Doro and Tricia, do you want to say any final words?
No, again, just thank you, everybody. And we are going to be doing other programs. So if people are interested in being a coach with us, we would love to talk to you about that and keep in touch with you about how we progress in that area. But again, just really thank you all for being here and answering the calls. And Brenna and Alex, thanks for joining in, and Sharon and all you guys, and Ginny, thanks for your great ideas, and Kathy, it's always fun to have you here. So no, really everybody, thank you for just bringing your whole selves to the program. Dora?
Thank you all. I mean, that's it. Just we hope you'll stay in our community and come to the meditations and listen to our podcasts, and just contact us directly if we can help you in any way. So thanks for being
here. Definitely. You guys have our email, so if you need anything, please reach out, and thanks again.
Thank you.
Okay,
Bye,
guys.
everybody.
Okay,
Thank you.
bye.
See you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you all.
You're welcome. Margaret, thank you.
Oh, this was wonderful.
So great to have you here with us. Thank you, guys. So great. Perfect.
Thank you guys again.
Thank you, Michelle. Congratulations again. Have fun on date. I'm going to be thinking of you next Wednesday going, that's the coolest idea. Date night.
Thanks, Michelle.
Well, we get takeout to go, so I don't have to worry about dishes and making
Yes.
dinner, and we just
You got to schedule the date nights. You got to get them on the schedule. That's so great.
thank you guys for everything.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.